Okay, more of a look at functions. We're going to take a look at the if statement again, and then some logical comparisons for that we'll use in the if statement, financial functions, and that sort of thing. So first of all, we have an if statement, and our simple if statement, we're going to do something where maybe we're a theater, and we give a different price for children, and we give a different price for people that are senior citizens. So first of all, our if statement was if some condition is true, then one thing or another. So we're going to say if something is true, so we have some condition. So if something is true, then the value that we want in the cell is say $7, otherwise it's $10. Okay, so if it's true, then it's 7, otherwise it's 10. So that's good if we have a condition that's either true or false. So if this is true, it's there, and if it's false, it's 10, true, 7. Well, then we're actually going to go and we're going to compare the values that are here. So we have something that we're going to do our if statement that checks the ages of things. So if the age is greater than or equal to 65, okay, so some condition that isn't just true or false, but it's evaluates true or false, then the price is 7, otherwise the price is 10. So now we see if it's 80, it's 7, if it's 27, it's 10, that sort of thing. We'll also have something here that might be text. So in text, if we have something, do the same thing and we paste it in, it says it's 7, because what it's actually doing is it's saying, is the word 80 greater than 65? Because this is a word that comes first, 80, or in here at all, it evaluates that as text to decide whether that text itself, those letters, are alphabetically before the other thing. So this is really saying, is the word EIGHTY, is that greater than 65? And because it's text rather than number, it can't be evaluated. Like we put in 10 here, it doesn't change any of the results, okay? Because it's not actually evaluating that into a number. So this is something we're actually probably ever going to do. I'm just going to do change the font because we never want to do that. When we copy this formula down, and it seems to work for every value. Greater than 65, there. But I actually want to do this actually a little better. I want to say if they're also under 15, they're going to get the best price. So what we're going to do is we're going to say or, so if it's greater than 65, or B6 is less than or equal to 15, okay? So less than or equal to 15 or greater than 65, we're going to get the discount. And so what we have here is 27 to be 10, but it's actually 16. We had the value of 16, it's 10. We have the value of 14, it's 7. Okay, so it's checking two conditions, so it's one or the other. We'll say this here and we'll say, well, we might actually compare text because we had this 80 here, this word 80 that didn't work. So we'll actually compare text here and we'll say, I have a customer type and a discount, and here I have a bunch of discount rates, and I'm just going to do a couple of them. So I'm going to say if the customer type is equal to, oh, regular doesn't get any discount, so we're equal to, we're going to say preferred or new, preferred. So we put that in quotes, so it's actually a text. It's one word compared to the other. Then the discount, we look it up, is 10%. Otherwise, it's 0%. So here, if it's preferred, it says regular, it's 0. It says preferred, it's 10%. And if we do new, well, that doesn't really work because it wasn't a value in there. So again, we could do our or. Or actually, can't do an or because it's two different values. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one if and put it inside of another if. So if it's preferred, it's 10%. If it's not preferred, we have to test again. So if F3 is equal to new, okay, so if it's not preferred, sorry, put an if statement in there. If F3 is equal to new, again, we're using the text, then we look up new, that's 50%, otherwise it's 0. Okay. So what we have is we actually have an if statement inside of an if statement. So if F3 is equal to preferred, then it's going to do this. If it's not equal to preferred, then it's going to do all this, which is another if. So if it's not preferred, then if it's new, we have a value of 50%, and if it's not, it's a value of 0%. And we've copied this down now, we can see that it works properly. But if we have all these values, that's really a pain to go, if it's black this, if it's gold this, if it's left this, if it's new this, if it's black this, it would get to be a really long statement. So what we want to do is we're going to use our vertical lookup. So we can say if lookup, we're going to look up that value. If it's in this table, okay, so we're going to look up the value in that table, and we want to have the column index 2. So we want to, again, say from this column, we want the second column. But what we want is we want to find an exact match. We're not going to assume that they're arranged. We're not going to find the lowest value like we did with our GPA. We're going to find the exact match and see how that looks. So regular, right, down to regular, that's 0%. And again, if we drag these down, preferred, oh, our range moved. We have to go in here and change that range into absolute references. Drag that down again. Okay. If it was preferred, it was 10%. If it was gold, it'd be 15%. If it was silver, it's 10%. Transferred, 30%. Okay, whatever the value is. Okay, so in our if statement, we use an or statement. We can also use an and statement. So an and means both conditions have to be true. An or means only one or the other has to be true. If either one is, unless they're both false, and then it's false. So it's adding these conditions up. So we'll just do a little summary here. So if I'm doing an and, I need both conditions to be true. So this is and this one and that one. Okay, so if they're both true, then it becomes true. But and if one of them is false, it's false. If the other one is false, it's false. And if both of them are false, it's false. The or is almost the opposite, where if either one of them is true, so or, so we have one condition or another condition, then if they're both true, it's true. If either one or the other is true, it's true. And it's only false if they're both false. So here this says one true out of the 4 cases, and this is 3 true out of the 4 cases. We can also say not and, which would be not the and function, so not subtracts it. And this is, again, 3 true and a false, but it's a different one than we have in the or. And not the or function, this is the opposite again, where here I have 3 false and a true, and it's different. And with these 3 functions, we can build up any combination of logic that we want. So we'd say if the age is less than 65, or it's less than 15, or it's greater than 65, then we get a discount.